This site is called the Aga Khan Park, but has two signature buildings. One is called the Aga Khan Museum, the other one the Ismaili Center. And the whole purpose around this site was to bring diverse people together. It's a place for dialogue, a place for contemplation, and you can see that with the architecture that we built. It makes you think, it makes you wonder, and I think that curiosity and wonder will bring people here. The foundation of the museum basically is also to showcase artifacts from the Muslim civilizations. And Muslim civilizations do not exist on their own. So there's this kind of notion that everything's about Islamic art, but it isn't, because when you come here, you start realizing the connection points of different cultures and civilizations. And we augment that with contemporary views. So we have contemporary exhibitions upstairs. So we have a permanent gallery where you would see most of these artifacts, but we have contemporary exhibitions that various type of cultures and different type of areas and regions would bring in more kind of insight as to what the world views are. Exhibitions are wonderful, the objects are wonderful, but there's a message, storytelling. What are these objects telling us? I think that's the most important thing that we need to get out of this. And so the museum has ventured into how do we motivate. If you look at some of the statistics, very small percentage of people wake up in the morning and say, I want to go to a museum. Even a smaller percentage will say, I want to go to an art museum. And think about even further, you take that statistic and say, who wants to go to a Muslim or an art or an Islamic museum, because that would label us that. So the idea of bringing people in a festival setting, which has been proven that when you bring people in a festival, people will come as long as they can do activities and do things with their families and friends. So Rhythms of Canada Festival was something we had. It was done in ad hoc basis since 2017, 2018, 2019. We'd have a one-day kind of festival, 1.5 days, and then we started seeing the population, people coming. And we were also learning from the fact that the city programs like Doors Open, Nuit Blanche, were like magnets for people to come to this site, because we have the facility of a beautiful building, but the park. COVID-19 allowed us even more opportunities because people wanted to be outside. Even today, you'll see some people wearing masks, some not, but when they go outside and we create this atmosphere of entertainment and learning and educational workshops, concerts, families and friends feel safe outside. So we have that advantage of the park. And so Rhythms of Canada got bigger and better, and we decided that this year we'll do a concert style, big tent, big productions, and we've been fortunate to put all those things together, and the evidence has shown, and we've been open. This is our day number 4, right? 5. See, I get the cue. Day 5, and yesterday was day 4 because it was one of our biggest days, Canada Day, and one of the key performances we had was Kanon was here, and so there's quite an excitement of this guy who is this artist that's been sort of disappearing act, and he himself said that was a way for a while to find himself. And when he came here, he was embraced by the audience, and we had a packed tent, 550 capacity, and to get into that tent, people were trying anyway to get in there, and it was a great offering for the community. In fact, we had people outside hovering around the tent, so it was a beautiful setting in the evening and great exposure for the site. So going back to Rhythms of Canada, we feel that this is a great avenue to bring the average person who doesn't really go to museums to come here. In fact, the conversion rate when they come here, people come to the museum and say, oh, I didn't even know this existed. We are one humanity, and we need to understand each other. And that's what this museum is about. Some people have a jaded view that this museum is just for Muslims, and Muslims feel this museum is for others. So I think it's a matter of understanding, and I think that's what museums do, and that's our key message here, is that we're one humanity, we can learn from each other. And of course, if you look around this building, we have the performing arts, so we try to get to all the senses, the sound, the taste of food, music, the actual visual artists, and the history. And one fundamental thing that we're focused on is education. An education program with kids and the formal education, but the informal is just as important. So if you combine everything and you look at this site, it has a concept of spirit, art, and nature. Okay, the nature is the park. The spirit is the Ismaili Center, where, yes, there's a community that congregates, but it's also It's an ambassadorial building and a place of dialogue. We have a lot of other functions there that bring politicians, leading experts, thinkers to come and dialogue things, as well as the museum. And the museum gives you that art. So if you look at the whole makeup of a human being, if you cover those three things, it really is a good place to be.